The Lord is saying you have to be willing to let them go. Not everyone is meant to walk with you into the place that God is taking you. Even if they are a believer, their assignment may not be connected to yours. The journey that God has for you is unique. And sometimes holding on to certain people can actually keep you from moving forward. It takes trust and obedience to release those that God says cannot continue with you. The Bible tells us that the Lord went before Israel by day in a pillar of cloud to lead them, and by night in a pillar of fire to give them light. They could not choose their own path. They had to follow wherever He moved. When He shifted, they had to shift. When He stopped, they had to stop. Their ability to walk in promise depended on their willingness to move with Him. The same is true for us. When God begins to move, are we willing to move with Him, even if it means leaving some things or people behind? Sometimes the Lord calls us out of a place of comfort, but we resist because of attachments. We hold on to relationships, familiar patterns, or even mindsets that can no longer serve where He is taking us. The question becomes, are you more committed to the place you've been or to the God who is leading you into something greater? His presence is always calling you forward, beckoning you to follow. The Lord said that there are some people who have attached themselves to a place where the grace has shifted. Now they find themselves frustrated in the same place that used to be full of grace. This is an indication that God is calling you to move, and your job is to find out where God is instead of where God was. And that may mean saying goodbye to certain relationships and environments. Consider Abraham. The Lord called Abraham out alone, and yet Abraham brought his nephew Lot along with him. This decision didn't appear to be a problem at first, but eventually, when the time of manifestation of God's promise drew near, the grace on this decision was removed, and strife and conflict arose between Abraham and Lot's camp, until eventually they had to separate. If you study this story, and after Abraham separated from Lot, the Lord spoke to Abraham about the promises. Sometimes the people we are connected to in one season are not the people assigned to us in our next season, and discerning that can be a challenge in our walk with God. Always look for the removal of grace and a rise in strife to lead you into prayer in determining if your seasons have changed and if God has shifted on a situation. When God says let go, it's not rejection, it's protection. He knows who can walk with you and who cannot. He knows who will encourage your faith and who will weigh you down. Separation is often the setup for elevation. As difficult as it may feel, trust that if the Lord is asking you to release someone or something, it is because He has greater ahead. The question is, are you willing to follow Him no matter the cost? The Lord said you have to be willing to let them go.